Hello, crypto. How's everybody doing out there? I hope you're doing well. Unbelievable. Titan X ecosystem is just going from strength to strength. Can you believe how it's all coming together? Titan X started to move, then Dragon X went large, followed by the meme coins, Jake X and Baby Dragon X, and then Helios. Of course, our own Blaze and Inferno protocols had their moment. It's been absolutely crazy. And the kind of big question everyone's asking is, all right, we're all right, we're in a bit of a dip, but what's going to pump next? And I seen an interesting tweet the other day on X that what is the most underrated protocol in the Titan X ecosystem? And I didn't jump into the comments because I didn't want to be biased, but I really do think that Inferno, our own Inferno token, is one to be watched, and we'll get into that during this stream tonight. So we've got a new guest on tonight that hasn't been on the show before. Roodi Kazooti, founder of Titan Legends, who also has a new protocol. So we're going to discuss that and also just what's happening in the Titan X ecosystem, and of course we'll get into what our pick is for what might pump next. So we're here working hard on this stream for the community. So please like and subscribe, all that stuff. We know we need the support of the community to keep this thing growing. So what will pump next? Titan X made its move. Dragon X stole the show in the early days, in fairness. Then Baby Dragon X, Jake X started to moon. Helios, Blaze, Inferno. Now we have more new protocols coming up. Could the whole lot be shaping up any better at all? So tonight, my guest, Roodi Kazooti and Josh Bad Sports from our own Blaze 3 team. How are you doing, guys? Roodi, you first. How you doing today?
What up, man? Thank you guys for having me on here. I love what you're doing with this show right now. It's great promotion for not only you guys, but all the other projects building right now. So good stuff. Thank you again.
Yeah, no problem. Josh, how you doing?
Yeah, feel like I ain't streamed for weeks. I think
you haven't been on here, and you haven't been on in quite a while. Whenever we worked our asses off getting Blaze, whenever it came to getting Blaze out, getting it launched, marketing, then we had a full-on crazy 4 weeks getting Inferno ready, launching Inferno into that. And I think after that, you had, I think you need to spend a bit of time with your family,
yeah. That was it was almost I was almost wifeless. Yeah, after that one. And, I think the last stream was the Inferno Bull launch. We did that little mini stream, like just jumped on and had a chat. And
oh yeah, that was in the afternoon. That was good fun. That one, I enjoyed that.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm good, man. Busy as always, as people can see, obviously, and just.
Dropping the alpha, dropping the bombs
already. We're not a minute in.
So Roodi, how do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? Just a quick, no, don't get into too much detail. Just a quick one of how you get into the Titan X ecosystem, sort of what your journey is in crypto so far.
Yeah, man. So I kind of got into crypto 2021. Been dabbling as a true degen in the space since then. And I remember getting into Titan X. It was the day of my wedding anniversary. And I woke up in the morning and I see this Titan X launch. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, obviously, I ate first. Didn't read the white paper. So then I was going through reading the white paper. I'm like, all I could think about the whole day, I'm supposed to be like spending it with my wife. All I could think about the whole day is Titan X. I wonder. And obviously got through the white paper, really got, good understanding of it. And if you guys were there on day one, there was like this massive pump that was just like unreal. Everybody's like, oh, this is gonna be like the craziest green candle marketing ever. The chat was kind of popping off like crazy. And I told my wife, I was like, I think this is going to be the crypto that changes our lives. And she's like, oh, I've heard that before. You guys all know how that goes. So, little known to me, just a few months later, I would come up with this idea for this NFT project. So again, I wake up in the morning, I nudge my wife. I'm like, hey, I got this great idea. I want to launch this NFT project. I came up with a really unique thing. She's like, oh yeah, sure. Okay. So then it goes on from there, and the rest is history. We launched the project, I think it was January 18th, and been kind of laying low, parallel with Jake, leading up to day 280 to see what happens there. And I can kind of get into more about the project in a little bit, but that's my quick intro.
So whenever you just quickly, and when you decided to, did you just decide off the bat to launch to launch Titan Legends, or had it been something you've been considering even before you kind of get into the Titan X ecosystem?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So, really, Titan X inspired that whole idea. I really love the idea of building on top of an ecosystem, right? Like and I've been into Pulse Chain, and I really love the idea of, what we now know as Hart's Law, bonded liquidity, etc. And the idea of actually being able to build a project on top of this, this was my first crypto project, right? So, I mean, you got to start somewhere. And, I enjoy the NFT space, and I thought I came up with a really, really clever and unique way to actually fix the liquidity problems in the NFT space with what we now know as hybrid NFTs, which is still a relatively unknown concept.
Yeah, obviously I built an NFT project, and it's something I've seen getting talked about a hell of a lot lately. But yeah, the Titan Legends, you want to give us a quick, just a quick, couple of lines of what you did with that, and how your sales went, what it actually is, and what it's doing at the minute.
Yeah, for sure. So Titan Legends really started as a regular NFT project. Basically, we had a mint just like any other NFT, but we did the mint in Titan X, and as a portion of that mint, we burned a bunch of Titan X at that time. So that was the beginnings of it, like a normal NFT project. And then the hybrid concept is taking and pairing that NFT with a token. So therefore, basically, each NFT is worth a set amount of tokens, and you're able to swap in and out to basically swap your NFT for tokens and vice versa, which links the value of the token in the NFT. So if the token goes up 10x, well, the floor price of the NFT will actually rise with it. So that was what I thought was really cool, because it solves the problem of liquidity in the NFT space, where a lot of people back in 2021 or whatever, they were buying these NFT projects that are essentially illiquid. You're just relying on the next guy to come and buy an NFT. Where in this, there's a little bit more interaction. You have the token, you have this option to swap your NFT into tokens, and it offers, a way to actually help to lock up a good amount of token supply, as well as people are going to be just holders of the NFT. They may not swap into tokens, but they can at any time if they want to liquidate their position.
Yeah, it's just funny talking about NFTs from 2021. I used to have a pink one-eyed cock worth about $4,000.
Dude,
I get into a project called Chicken Derby Racing Chickens. So I had a one-eyed cock, and it was a real prime one of the NFTs. And as I say, it was worth $4,000. But I checked it today. It's worth fucking $15 or something. Absolutely.
Yeah, if somebody will come to buy it.
No, it's dead. Metathugs, so many NFT projects that I get into in 2021.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of part of the reason that I built an NFT project is that seeing some of the shit that people built back then, just even when I didn't know that much about crypto back, when I was just getting started, even then I knew I could run and build a much, much better project than most of what gets put out there. So that's kind of one of the things that just got me wanting, whenever I came to start my first project, that it was going to be Pulse Wars, the NFT project. So the hybrid NFTs, I've noticed that the sloth, ocelots, and squirrels, they have a project called Trinity or something like that on Pulse Chain. Is it the same kind of concept? Do you know?
I'm not familiar with that project. I've been kind of out of the Pulse Chain space for a little bit. I would say the OG in the hybrid NFTs, from my understanding, was basically this protocol called Bozo Finance that was on Solana. And I remember I saw it, something posted on, it was actually early January. I saw something posted on Twitter from like an influencer. I clicked on it. I was like, this shit looks like a scam, a free mint. Like, I was like, what is this? Like, it was just a picture of a beer and like a mint button. I was like, I'm not connecting my wallet. And sooner than later, within the month or 2 months or whatever, the project exploded, and those NFTs that were minted for free were worth like 40 grand a piece or 80 grand a piece, something crazy. I mean, you can go look at the chart and figure it out. But I was like, wow, that is really cool. And I only really found out about what Bozo was after I came up with the Titan Legends liquid hybrid NFT concept. So I saw Bozo do it in practice, and I was like, oh shit, I'm really onto something here. I hadn't really seen anybody doing it on Ethereum or other chains. So I'm sure that there's been quite a few other projects. There's just so many, you can't keep up with them all.
Yeah. So, where is the project at the minute then, Rudy? So is there a coin coming out? Are you ready to launch the hybrid NFTs? Where are you at with it at the minute?
Yeah. So basically, I mean, we did the NFT mint all the way back in January. And as we watched the Titan X ecosystem unfold, obviously I had planned to launch a token. I was going to launch the token. It was either at the end of February, early March, because the NFT mint was already done. All I needed to do was, I already had the contracts audited and everything. All I needed to do is launch a token and, kind of get everything working. But I saw the sentiment in Titan X at that time being a little like, everybody was like, oh, what the heck's going on? There's so much supply coming out. Kind of like the squirrel mentality. And I'm sure, we're all guilty of, having that, instant gratification mentality. So at that time, like, I decided to like postpone the launch, let some more supply come out, see how day 280 went, and the launch of the token, that is. And now that we're here, we're past day 280. As Jake would say, the chart really started at day 280. So that's what we're looking forward to now, is really capitalizing on Titan X price appreciation with the bonded liquidity of the Legend X token once it goes live.
Is there a timeline for that, Rudy, or are you just kind of coming out now, starting to talk about it?
What's that now?
Is there a timeline for the release of the coin, or where are you at? Or are you just are you just starting to talk about it now?
Yeah, so I mean, people have known that I was planning on launching this token to go with it, obviously, and now that day 280 has come and gone, it's time, right? Like, we've seen all these other protocols starting to pump, and we'll be probably within the next 3 weeks. I don't have an exact date set. I just sent the contracts to the auditors. We made a few changes, so I was just having him take a quick look at it and finishing some front end work, and we'll be good to go.
Okay, now, and do many people know that you also airdropped all your holders copies of their NFTs over on Pulse Chain? Is it like, does only your holders know about that, or did you announce that to the community?
Yeah, that was definitely announced to the community. So during March, actually, when I was about ready to launch this NFT hybrid with the token, I was planning on doing a token or a migration over to Pulse Chain, and really like trying to expand the Titan X ecosystem, the Pulse Chain, because a lot of us were on that path at that time. If you remember, Gwei was like 100 plus, and like it was what, $200 to do a swap or something like that.
Yep, I remember.
And then to interact with NFTs on Ethereum at Gwei prices that high was insane. And I was like, I want people to use what I'm building. And I was, I planned on doing a Pulse Chain migration at that time, and decided, within then and now, that it would be best just to launch on Ethereum, because this is where the liquidity is. The liquidity never really, for Titan X, never really moved the Pulse Chain. I was talking with a couple of the other builders in the space, and they had all kind of been on hold at the same time. So during that time, I've really decided, for the best of the protocol, that it's good to stay within the Ethereum ecosystem. And, once X28 comes out, we'll see what happens. Like right now, all of the NFT holders, yes, they were airdropped Pulse Chain NFTs. So it was kind of like what Richard Hart did with his free tokens. So I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. That's like a nice little added bonus. And they can participate in Pulse Wars, which that was when you and I had first linked up. And maybe down the road, once Titan X actually gains more of a foot in there, I'll be able to do something more with that. But at the moment, they just kind of exist out there. Free tokens.
I think everybody's this. Everybody, not everybody. Sorry, many people had the same sentiment at the time. There wasn't much happening on Ethereum. Pulse Chain at that time, it was pumping. It was running up at that time. It was exciting over there. And then, a lot of us did a lot of things over on Pulse Chain, and it's been kind of down forever since the end of March. And now all of a sudden, Gwei is minimal, and everything's looking sweet and usable again on Ethereum. It was funny. I mentioned it on my stream last night, just that it's great for me. I'm ready on Pulse Chain whenever things start to move over there. I still have all my holdings over there. I still have games being built. The Blaze liquidity that 2%. And that I can't even think off the top of my head. The 2% is that we have aside for the liquidity pool has been buying the Blaze token, so we've got that ready to send over to Pulse Chain. So there's a lot going on, still between those two. That the Titan X ecosystem and over on Pulse Chain. I still expect to see a lot happening, between the two ecosystems. And I'm not sure. Controversial thing, is what's going on with Pulsar. Have you heard anything on what's happening with Pulsar, Josh? Have you? You're muted.
I said no comment. Two more weeks.
2 more weeks.
I'm hearing rumblings that it's very close. Put it that way.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love what they did with the gift token over on Pulse Chain. Basically, you don't know how these things are going to interact when you're building something super innovative, like how people are going to respond to it. And I think like building that gift token and putting it out there. I mean, I'm not sure if that was their intention, but I would say as a test, right, to be able to get it out in like live action. And I mean, that thing did the most incredible gains.
Oh, Josh knows all about that.
It was super low liquidity. I didn't buy any. I saw it after. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I felt the euphoria of those gains. Probably didn't sell enough of it, but put it that way. No, they actually learned a lot from launching GIF and PGIF. They learned a lot of things to change for Pulsar and for the future stuff. So when they say they were testing it, they really was. And I'm excited for Pulsar. Really excited. I think,
dude, yes. I think those guys are brilliant over there. They're really serious about their work, and being a part of the Titan X ecosystem, I think that they'll gain a really strong footing, and being able to like bridge Pulse Chain and Ethereum together essentially. It's awesome. I love the concept. I can't wait.
Yeah, so after day 280, I mean, you must be excited to get things moving your end now that day 280's out of the way. What do you think of the current dip at the minute? Do you think it's going to keep dipping, or do you think it'll turn pretty quick here?
Do you know what I learned this year? I don't care. I don't fucking care, dude. It's going to do what it's going to do. And the long-term trajectory of Titan X and people building, like you guys are building some amazing protocols. There's a lot of other great builders. There's projects coming out of the woodwork that, from people that we don't know yet. I mean, there's just so much going on. And, with the X28 protocol coming out, I mean, I have my own personal speculation on what supply will look like in the future. And when you take into consideration all these things getting built and then new users coming in, and then like the whole idea of just creating a hyper deflationary asset underneath all of that, I mean, it's a matter of time. So I don't care.
I think there's like 10 plus. I just ran through them quickly in my head, but just what I've seen in the last 2 days, there's about 10 or more protocols that are due to launch in the next 8 weeks. So
That's insane.
That
That's
is
insane.
That is pretty wild. That it's kind of gaining so much momentum so quickly.
them green candles are going to do that.
That's it. I think Dragon X, them pulling like their massive gains over Titan X was huge marketing for us. I mean, if you guys, anybody watching the stream and you're not into Titan X or the ecosystem yet, which I'm sure most people probably are already, like we need more users. So get involved, learn new things. Like we need more people participating in DeFi. Like I kind of look at Dragon X as a really interesting model for this because like there's 1,800 holders in Dragon X. There's 13,000 of Titan X roughly. That's like a little less than, that's like a sixth, right? I'm just doing some napkin math. So that's like a sixth of users that are participating in the DeFi space right now on Titan X. And we really need to 10x those numbers, 20x those numbers. And I think we'll see that over time. Like you said, the green candle marketing is huge.
Yeah, it's funny. I was even had a quick back and forth with Eric today. He had like nearly 1,000 people watching his live stream yesterday, and he's saying today, "Where the fuck's all the buyers?" And 1,000. There was BitBoy. He had more people watching his stream yesterday than fucking BitBoy had watching his. Kind of crazy. But then Eric was kind of like, "Well, I'm fucking out here streaming. We're there, everybody's watching, nobody's buying, people are still selling." But yeah,
has he only just realized how painful it is to stream with nobody watching for the last 6 months? Join the club, mate. Come on.
That's
a knife to the heart right there.
Yeah, so again, lots of eyeballs, lots of things coming, he's bringing lots of new eyeballs on the ecosystem as well. So yeah, lots of great things happening. Jake threw out the narrative a couple of months ago, about this whole L1 within the L1 kind of thing. And it's starting to really take shape with a lot of these new protocols coming out. You see a lot of people in the community are really, doubling down within the ecosystem and kind of going, you know what, there's something here. There's enough stuff to play with here to make money. Even fucking Mackenzie's, the compounding strategies post the other day.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was a phenomenal post. Great to see. Mo's joined the chat there as well. How's it going, Mo? Glad you're here. Hope the dog's keeping well.
Big up the Mo,
dude.
What does Rich say there? I care about the price dropping. We can buy more for a little while longer. Yep, I agree 100% with that. I'm DCAing hard again.
Ali, you've been saying that for 3 years, man. Come on.
I have been. I keep DCAing and my stack doesn't get any bigger. My stack gets bigger, but the value doesn't go up.
I'm dying. It's hilarious.
I feel the pain.
Yeah. All right, where are we at here?
What up? Yeah, Rich said, I care about the price drop and we can buy for a little while longer. Yup.
Ali has a license plate that says DCA King. Oh, nice one.
We need to see this.
So, what do you think? What do you think is on the horizon for the next 100 days or so, Roodi? Any ideas or any thoughts on what kind of presents itself within the ecosystem over the next 100 days? Obviously, all these projects are launching, but any thoughts on what's coming over the next while?
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching it very closely. Like, obviously, Mike Dean's a staple in the community, and I got the Dune dashboard on lock. Just checking, the supply coming out, etc. And I think it was the stream with you, Ali, with Jake, and he was talking about how this is the way that I'm thinking about it now. It's like it's been so long. People started all these max miners, and just to take it and sell right now is silly. It's like making a meal and then like throwing it in the trash. Right. I think that it was something along those lines that he had mentioned. And, for people that have been involved, they've obviously been watching it. They're seeing that there is life in this and there's a whole ecosystem being built. And now we're seeing like Dragon X take off. And then, that bonded liquidity strategy with baby Dragon X, that was unheard of.
Insane.
That was nuts. That was nuts. I mean, Dragon X did like a 11-1 on Titan X, and then Baby Dragon X did a 5-1 on Dragon X. So it's like that was just insane to watch, and their liquidity pool is just so thick, and that's what's going to happen with a lot of these protocols, especially when the Titan X price starts to move up. It's like, even if there's, just like a regular size liquidity pool now, if Titan X does a 30X or 50X or 100X, those liquidity pools are going to be thick, so thick.
Yeah.
And there's just going to be a lot of like introduction. I see a lot of whales coming in. So that's what I see over the next 100 days is like these projects building, Titan X gaining its foot in. Like we're going to see, hopefully, once supply drops off, X28 drops, you'll see this massive and deflationary boost kind of come in, pump the price up. All these liquidity pools are going to get pumped up with it. There's just a lot of moving pieces right now. And, the idea of this being the L1 within the L1, well, like I almost kind of compare it to Pulse Chain. Like Pulse Chain has like a really like awesome, vibrant ecosystem, but there's just so many people that are, maybe they made gains on a project, they dumped and they're leaving the ecosystem right now. I just think that we're just at the very beginning of something that's like just about the flower. So that's what I really see.
Yeah, see as well. You're just a bit Josh, did some whale come in and throw about 65K into the Inferno liquidity pool after the mint?
Yeah, on Saturday. So yeah, somebody removed some liquidity, a smaller amount, and then but I believe the wallets might be connected. So yeah, after the mint, so something was removed, and after the mint, they put about 60-70 grand in, and well, actually they started buying up the price a little bit for like 5-6K clips. So that was interesting to watch.
Yeah.
We can speculate where that might be coming from, but who knows?
Question. You guys would probably know. I haven't looked into it, but is that Titan X liquidity pool on Inferno just a community made liquidity pool?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's sick. People are using it. The whales are making fees at that's what they like to do. And obviously like they're supporting these projects by creating these other liquidity webs throughout the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that in other projects as well right now, like JakeX, like people are just making, it's a very small liquidity token, but people are, bonding it with Helix, with Baby Dragon X. Somebody added a ton of liquidity to Dragon X. So like we're seeing a lot of this start to happen, and that's really exciting as well.
Yeah, I don't know whether I should say this publicly or not, but just even, whoever's providing liquidity in that pool, or in the Infernal pools at the weekend, whenever we're up at that 15% mark, the I'll go by the past weekend. It was banned about $1,000 worth of Inferno every 30 minutes. So there's just an absolute crazy amount of volume just from the ban burn. Never mind people buying into it, selling into it, all that kind of carry on as well. So I was very happy to see that liquidity getting added. It just means that we can get much bigger players coming in, buying, speculating, all good stuff for the ecosystem.
Yeah, definitely. It's really great to see that. It's showing to me confidence in the ecosystem, right? It's like people are, you don't just start a liquidity pool as a community member just to pull it a couple days later, just like, all right, that was fun. Thanks. See you later. These guys are serious players. Like these whales are serious players that are coming in and they want to see the ecosystem grow. So that's what they're doing, is that they're building this stuff out alongside of us.
Oh yeah, it's fucking. I'm excited. I'm really excited for
Yeah,
it.
Awesome.
We made an early sort of public announcement to the community and said, look, let's try and get together. Let's build a Titan X pool or pairing. And it was only like, I don't know, 10 grand, 15 grand. And that was like the immediate people that we were speaking to in the Telegram. And then just like all of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, it was like another 60K in there. And it was pretty incredible to see it like grow that quickly.
Yeah, it's awesome. I was really excited when I saw that. Obviously having blaze back liquidity is awesome in itself, but having Titan X as an auxiliary pool, it just makes it easier for people to be able to get in and out of these tokens if they want to trade them. It just promotes economic energies, I should say it.
Yeah, and also just constantly, things moving between all the liquidity pools, good for everybody. So there's obviously we've got so many, protocols in the pipeline. The Blaze 3 team, even in the space, as said, we've got a couple more of our own protocols in the mix. So we've kind of, a couple of the guys wanted to do certain things themselves within the team. Obviously, building these protocols takes a hell of a lot of effort. So some of us had a little bit more free time than others and had certain specific goals. So Josh and a couple of the other guys from Blaze team have taken one of the protocols that we were kind of all looking at, and they've run with it. And I see you've probably seen that we've got the Flux and Volt names have been dropped. I don't know if you want to mention, you dropped the white paper already, Josh. There's a new Telegram open for Flux, and there's a white paper out. Do you want to drop a few hints of what's going on, or what do you want to say at the minute? Mo Flux me.
Explain yourself.
There's quite a few memes popping up already, like no flux given, flux everyone, flux off. So yeah, it's like a meme on a meme at the minute. But no, look, like Ali rightfully said there, we 8 members in the team. Some of us have got different goals, different directions. So essentially, at some point, a decision's got to be made that right. We'll divvy stuff up. You go that way. You go that way. We're all aligned towards Blaze in the center of it all. So
that's a good one there. Sorry, I've got to call that one out. Netflix and chill.
I can do something with that one for sure.
All right. A meme on a meme. I get it.
So yeah, no, look. All jokes aside, we've cracked on, and we really, we've been working on this one for a week or so. We've got the development team already building the smart contracts, just designing some of the UI stuff at the minute. Released the white paper today. We've got, I want to try and get everyone over to that Telegram. So if you go to t.me/DeFi Flux, jump in there. We've got the white paper links in there, and it's without going too much into it. I don't want to sort of take the stream off on a Flux direction, because I want to work on a few bits later on this week. But it's auction distribution. We love our auctions, but we flipped it upside down. There's a lot of different tokenomics in there, a lot of opposites to Blaze. So, for instance, getting into the auction earlier this time might be better than waiting till the end. So there's a lot of game theory there. There's differences with how the unlocks work, and we've centered this whole protocol around buy and burn, ROI, Arbin. Like we've kind of gone away from staking. So Blaze is your staking protocol. Flux is your high ROI, green candles. Like we've coded in buy pressure, and that's a fact. That isn't a meme. So it's going to be
that's not a King X claim there you're making, is it?
We actually did it. So no, look, it's very interesting. I've not seen something with this specific type of tokenomics attached to it. So, and the main thing is it's paired with a meme coin called Inferno, which could be hyperdeflationary. So,
which is absolutely insane. Okay, so I know we're all on the same team, but I didn't even know. I didn't like the guys who are writing this white paper, coming up with the ideas. I can't even keep on top of everything that's going on within the team all the time, because you would divvy things up and we all kind of work on certain different things. Whenever I see in the white paper and seeing that it was getting paired with Inferno, I was like, what on earth? Because we'll have a little chat in a little bit more detail about what's going on with Inferno. Obviously, that's kind of my pick for one of the underdogs in the ecosystem here at the minute. But yeah, just the fact that we've got a deflationary meme coin with this Flux protocol adding into that, it's kind of crazy.
It's insane. Yeah, I'm reading through this this white paper, and I mean, once it actually sets in like the concept of these auctions and how the distribution of the Titan X is used in those auctions, it's just it's mind bending that you guys should come up with something like this. It's awesome. And when you say like green candles are coded, I mean, basically you're taking half of the Titan X from that auction and buying and max staking the Flux token. So you're essentially you're not burning it per se, but you're taking it off of the market forever. And you're just creating a hyper deflationary asset built on top of a hyper deflationary asset. Yeah, it's really cool.
And just like a couple of little bits there as well. So it's even once that's max staked, that will automatically just keep max staking. So that will never come back on the market.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's going to be exciting. I've got a stream booked with Mike Dean on Friday evening. I literally just booked that like an hour ago. So
nice.
Yeah, I'll put some bits out this week. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I'll definitely watch that stream too, because Mike does a good job to give like the visual learners something to chew on. And I think that this really deserves some visual learning.
I didn't even understand my own protocols until Mike Dean explained them to me.
That's how it goes.
One more thing as well, just because I'm keen to sort of include all, some of my favorite protocols, and I'm very much in the background speaking to all the founders and trying to see what we can do. So part of Flux does the Titan X will feed the Helios Treasury and the Dragon X vaults. So trying to bond everything together, bind everything, and try and be a center of the community as well.
Yeah, that was a nice move. I don't, sometimes it's hard to pick where you're going to put that economic energy, and at least and you can spread it too thin. But you've done a great job there with that. Yeah, well played.
It's also hard to have a multiple token ecosystem in general. Obviously Titan X is an ecosystem built, or the L1 on top of the L1, and then there's all these other tokens with like these incredibly smart dudes building out some amazing stuff. And when you're introducing other tokens into ecosystems, I've seen a lot of times in the past is like one will kind of like fall off or whatever, but we're doing like this between all these protocols, and what you guys are doing particularly, what I'm seeing is like this liquidity bonding strategy is so strong. You're bringing value and it drips down into everything else that you're building. And I think that's huge. It's all a matter of time at this point. These things are all coded. It's player versus smart contract.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
As Jake would say.
Yeah.
I'm not taking credit for that one.
I didn't hear. You could have stolen that one.
You got Jake's beard now, so kind of.
I guess so.
Black t-shirt, black beard.
I didn't do that on purpose. I just need some gum.
Okay, so look, we've seen it with, you're talking about the liquidity bond and all that stuff. We've seen everything in the Titan X ecosystem running together. We've seen the Hart's Law in firsthand that it really does work. Is there any of the projects within the ecosystem that have surprised you so far, Rudy? I'm going to throw this in there because there was a comment. Actually, I did get a message from you saying, by the way, love Inferno. You guys knocked it out of the park with the tokenomics and minting phases. Did you participate in Inferno?
Yeah, dude, I was like one of the first people to mint Inferno. I was like in my car. I stopped at a store real quick. I was like, I need to get this right now. So yeah, definitely. Honestly, that's been the one that I've been really keeping my eye on closely. I love the tokenomics of it. And I hate them remember when King X was trying to do their thing with the 90% buy and burn and all this, and like everything just kind of like fell apart. Like they didn't have their audit straightened out. There's just so much that like fell apart. What you guys did with Inferno is you really took that buy and burn strategy and made it into something way more sustainable and something that actually works. And I thought that was super cool to see. So I didn't have any doubt. I mean, when you take in consideration, like you got this pool of Titan X, and you have this token that's like what, a $500,000 market cap, and you got I don't know what's in there right now, but $300,000 worth of Titan X waiting to buy and burn this thing. It's kind of a no-brainer, right? All you have to do is hold. And what we're doing right now is if people are using the buy and burn for exit liquidity, that's fine. You want those people out. And once the supply caps and you have other things being built on top of it.
See, it's funny how it's funny how it's kind of played out. The Mint Cycle 3 was quite. Mint Cycle 1, Mint Cycles 2 and 3 were kind of got a little bit quieter, and then that stage I was kind of going, right, sweet. This thing can really start moving once we get the 8 weeks out of the way, and then week 4 was kind of insane there. I think we brought in nearly 700 billion Titan. That buy and burn pool nearly hit $400,000.
I saw that.
Titans pulled back a little bit, but even at that stage, really, it was, as I say, it was buying $1,000 worth of Titan X at one stage at the weekend every 30 minutes. That's just buying and burning those Inferno tokens out of existence. It's really doing a fantastic job. But for us to watch that, when with kind of crypto's so unpredictable, it really is. Nobody's seen the Jake X thing pumping. Nobody's seen BB Dragon X hitting it so hard, so quick. But just to see that the community start to realize that there really is, the Verse streamed about it a couple of times as well. Probably put a lot more eyeballs onto the Inferno project as well. But just to see the adoption come in week 4 and that buy and burn, to hit such a massive amount, and at that stage the liquidity pool was like 35k. Obviously now it's been added to, but Inferno itself's got some crazy stats, and I do think that hopefully the mint goes well again this weekend. But it's like, you want it to, do you want it? I don't even care. There's a certain part of me goes, I don't want more supply. I want it to keep reducing, so I end up with more myself.
You're only saying that now Flux is on its way.
Well, that's another massive part to it as well, that nobody's seen coming, and probably as well only the few, the maybe 100 people in the Telegram, the people that are watching this stream. There's so many people that aren't even in Inferno yet, but don't even know, and they don't even know that Flux is coming down the line as well.
Yeah, it's wild.
It had, because before the last mint, it had already burnt more than half the supply in the first 3 weeks. The ban burn had burnt out half the supply. So yeah, it's just some crazy things to come from it, and that's why I just think it's a little bit of a sleeper. We have also, what is it? I think we've went from, it sat around 160 odd holders. I think we're up to nearly 290 or something now. So it's been, the holders have grew a lot in the last sort of week as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see too. And what's really nice about it is that you're still encouraging people to mint tokens, because even with the 20 or 30% ROI on top, like it does encourage more people to get in. Like, not for nothing, like I'm planning, like it occurred to me this week I should probably mint more Inferno. I don't know where that thought came from, but I was like, this weekend comes around, like I want to get more of this, because what you've done is create, and this was even before I read the Flux white paper, and it just really occurred to me. I was like, once this is done, it's done. And if you guys remember, like how Dragon X got minted over the 12-week phase, once it was done, it was done. And I mean, we're still maintaining a premium over Titan X as it is. I mean, I think that it's a really great time to get involved with this before it turns into week 9. And the only way that people can get it is by buying it through the liquidity pool and pumping the bag. So
yeah, I mean, the actual Inferno site is quite handy as well. Inferno.win, because it's always got the ROI sitting there. I mean, sitting at 26, we're 26% premium over Titan X at the minute, and that's before we go deflationary, before the minting cycles are over, and as the holder count is on the rise. So Titan X pumps a 2x, and we're after this weekend you could be up to just a 2x in Titan X. Would put $500,000 in that buy and burn. There's just crazy, wild, hard to believe stats that you can speculate with.
Well, it's sustainable, right? I mean, when you talk about like burning half of a token supply, like, sometimes that can be a little bit reckless, right? And what you're doing is that you're allowing people to get in at roughly the same price point over the first 2 months. And that's the whole idea of a fair launch to begin with, is that you want as many people as possible to get involved. And that was the whole idea with Titan X in general. So this is like a microcosm in a really intelligent way, in my opinion, to be able to distribute supply and weed out lettuce hands and, really do something that's really unique. So I've been super into Inferno, and I'm not just blowing you guys up because I like the token or whatever, or just because I want you to like me, but I really do like the token. Yeah, I think it's sweet.
Yeah, the distribute. That's one of my favorite parts about it is like essentially it's a meme coin, right? That's what we've coined it as, and it's completely fairly distributed in a way. Obviously, it's earlier was better, but yeah, like you say, is the distribution model is fair. And when do you ever see that in meme coins? Really,
Never. You're allowing people to get in at roughly around the same price point, and if you're talking about the distribution of the token, a lot of those bigger holders started to sell off and stuff, and you're starting to see the numbers start to level out to where they need to be. And I think by the end of week 8, you're going to have a really good distribution on the token. You're going to have other things being built on top of it. You're going to have the buy and burn. There's just so much to love there.
Yeah, so, hopefully people are stacking their tight necks in the dip here at the minutes. I know that's what I'm picking up, a bit more tight necks. Hopefully many other people out there are picking up a little bit of tight necks, and we can get more of that tight necks into Inferno just to keep the whole thing growing. Obviously, I'm saying it doesn't matter whether we mint more or not, or kind of want that. That would be nice to get to the end of 8 weeks so that it can sort of, hopefully start to fly after that, whatever. But, we want more hype, want more people in, want more tokens minted over the next load of weeks. That 1% kind of narrative is playing well. Marco obviously talked about it on the stream a couple of weeks ago about him wanting to pick up his 1% of all the coins that he liked, and just within the ecosystem, it's still quite possible for people to get there. It's not that easy. What's the price for a 1% at the minute, Josh? Do you know what it is?
$6,000 or something?
Yeah. It got up to about 10 grand, and it's around 6 now.
Yeah, that's supply.
It might be more after we get off this stream, because there's only buyers at the minute while we're talking.
Nice, that's good. Yeah.
So that's it. It's obviously it's not. Maybe it's part of it, but whenever Eric was on with all those people watching yesterday, the whole time he was on, the price was going down. I was going to message him, say, "Fucking shut up! Stop talking."
Man, that's just crypto, man. Like, whatever you think it's going to be, it's usually the opposite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been stoked for Inferno. I'm definitely into it. Like I said, I am minting some more personally. I just, this is a great opportunity to get involved in something. And now that, Flux is coming out, like I wanted to ask Josh, like kind of jokingly, is like, should I swap some Inferno for Flux?
I don't know which is the better hold.
I don't know, man. Like, I was thinking about like the way that the first week unfolds of Flux, or how I perceive it to be, with people participating in the auctions. It might be a really great way to actually, maybe gain a bit of a premium on your Inferno. Like, it could outperform in those first initial. I don't know when you're launching, but
yeah, I can see it being used as a like a real high ROI arb for a while. So the arb between the two, and then the arb between just the auction arb as well. So when you come into like a Blaze auction, it almost always closes to zero because there's that many people participating, coming in every single day, which is great. But with Inferno, even without it closing, there's still profit on the table, which is a net neutral for the protocol, because there's so much buy and burn involved in it. So even if it didn't close, it would say, I don't know, 30-40% in profit for the users. The actual protocol is at a neutral, because there's so much firepower coming from the auto buy. Yeah, let's see how.
Yeah, it's wild. My only criticism on Blaze is that I wish you guys launched like 2 hours later, because the auctions end at like 4:30 in the morning where I live, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to wake up at 4:30 in the morning.
I get that a lot. A lot of the guys in the community from the States, they're like, fucking hell, Blaze keeps me up every night. It's like
it's like one of my top apps. Like, I just kept going through it. Like, am I going to be able to? Am I going to do it today?
Perfect
Is today
time.
the day?
Perfect timing for me. I get into work at anywhere between 8 and 9 o'clock. I get to check out everything that's going on in crypto, everything that's going on in work. And then about 10 o'clock, I can sit and look and watch it for the next 40 minutes and see how it plays out, see if it's worth getting involved. It's perfect timing for me. So thanks very much for launching it at that time for me, Josh.
Yeah, we changed the launch time of Inferno to suit the States, guys. So
Thank you.
yeah, you can have that. You can have that one, mate.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I really love the auction model too. So I mean, you're doing it with Flux. I mean, it sounds like that. Well, Jake's doing it with X28. So it's gonna be really interesting to see the economic energy surrounding these newer auctions coming out as well. So they're actually really exciting. You know, it's almost like an eBay auction that you're trying to get in and hopefully get, you know, the best ROI on, you know, what you're getting involved with. And, you know, there's a lot of play there. There's a lot of like different ways to play the game, I guess you could say.
So I'm just catching up in some of the chat there as well. So Roodi, we've got to kind of start wrapping it up here in the next 10 minutes or so. What about the overall crypto picture? How do you see things at the minute? ETH obviously and Bitcoin having a bit of a pullback lately. It's pretty flat out there. You know, how you feeling about is the bull run still on? Where are we at?
Where's our stimulus money? I was kidding. Dude, let's be real. Like there's nothing that's going to compare to the retail inflow of cash as 2021 when people were sitting at home with not much to do, playing with their stimulus money. Like I know this is like a ridiculous comparison. We're in totally different times and spaces, but you know, it's a question of retail, in my opinion. Like, where does the average retail investor find themselves in crypto? Are they finding themselves in the DeFi space? Are they finding themselves in like the gambling space? Right? Like we've seen people just get washed out of pump fund shit on Solana the last 4 or 5 months, whatever it's been. And like a lot of capital has been lost to like scammers. And, you know, there's a lot of mechanics here at work that it's not the same environment that it was in 2021 when you can get into a token and everybody's buying it and price go up. Like, you know, you have to have something that has a special value proposition like Titan X, right? Like Titan X is a beautifully built smart contract with a decentralized buy and burn and protocols building on top of it to help bring value to the ecosystem. So you have a lot more going on than just the user base, which the user base is very, very important. You know, and that's where I think it's awesome that we're doing like these streams and stuff together, and that you guys particularly are, you know, having this show. Is like we need more people into DeFi. You know, people that want to get into like legit projects with legit founders, etc. So to answer your question, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not really like a technical guy when it comes to crypto. As far as like reading charts and stuff like that, like I kind of see what I see. You know, obviously this election is going to play a lot for, you know, the U.S. election is going to play a lot into the sentiment with crypto. You know, I'm not going to get into politics here, but you know, it's kind of a black and white situation. I'll say that.
Did you see that? I don't know. Is there truth to the posts that I'm seeing on X that Gensler might get a promotion if Kamala Harris gets voted in?
Dude, I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not going to get into politics here at all. But you know what would be really bullish for crypto, in my opinion, is like countries building reserves in Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin pumps, everything kind of trickles down from that. So that's, in my opinion, that's what I would like to see happen. Is it going to happen? I don't know. You know, like is Bitcoin going to get adoption sooner than later, or is it going to be later than later? I think it'll happen at some point or another. But you know, in the US, like we've seen so much inflation, so much like everything's just so much more expensive for the average person, and our dollar's going to shit. And this is as political as I'll get, but our dollar's going to shit. And, that's why I love crypto, is because it's that math-backed money, right? There's something there to be spoken for. Bitcoin only has 21 million Bitcoin. We're kind of approaching the top of the S curve in terms of, that supply coming out. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here. I think that more countries will adopt Bitcoin and we'll see what happens. As far as DeFi goes, I think it'll follow.
Yeah,
that's my play.
I've never been political at all, and I've never cared. I've always kind of thought to myself, I'm the only one person in my life that can actually make a difference to it. Yes, the politicians can do this and do that, but I'm not relying on anybody to be the master of my fate. I'll just do my thing. But it's one thing, I've put myself so deeply into crypto, and I do kind of think that that this election will have a pretty big burn on what happens. Maybe hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't. Everything can continue on. But there's definitely, there's definitely something. There's definitely something amiss if the election goes one way or the way I don't want it to go. See everybody commenting in the Trump in the fucking comments. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Like, I've never. I don't know whether it's just the people that I know, but I've never, honestly, apart from even on Twitter, apart from some dude Brian Krasenstein or something and his fucking brother, they're the only two people I've ever say that they want to not vote for Trump. It's kind of crazy. I know there's some crazy comments coming in here. Jake saying, I need to grow a beard at this point. Yeah, fuck. I can't actually grow a beard. It just grows in patches. It's fucking pathetic.
That's funny. Jake's watching. Awesome. What's up, dude?
Somebody saying there, am I a Scouser? The person that's asking, am I a Scouser, must be an American.
I don't know what that means.
Exactly.
I don't know what that is. We'll have to look it up after.
Scouser's a person from Liverpool. So yeah, I had the verse on in the comments last week, saying that I think it looked like fucking Braveheart or something. I don't know, but yeah, Irish people. I'm Irish. Okay, so we'll start wrapping things up. Josh, if you have anything you want to add to the conversation here before we wrap it up. Nobody can hear you. You balloon.
Muted.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, nothing to add. Generally, just I'll just touch on Flux again. White paper's out. The X is live. The Telegram's live. So yeah, head over to t.me/DeFi Flux, and I'm in there answering the questions. We've got Scotty Blaze and Irish Crypto in there as well from Blaze Free Labs. So they'll be in there all day, every day, answering your questions. Let's get in there, talk about the white paper. And I've got a stream booked on Friday at 8 p.m. CET Central. So yeah, I'll put some adverts and schedule that out this week. But yeah, all exciting. Get the Flux flywheel going. All goes back to Blaze. All go back to Inferno and Titan X. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Mike Dean's this Friday, yeah.
Yeah, I've just confirmed it up just before I jumped on here. It's Friday at 8 p.m. Central.
Is that a Flux white paper deep dive?
Yes.
Ooh.
That'll be fun. I'm definitely watching that one. I can't watch every stream, admittedly, but I will watch that one.
Yeah. I'm on with Corey Costa on Saturday talking about Blaze and Inferno. We haven't really promoted it too much within the Hex and Pulse Chain ecosystem. So that'll be a kind of another just going over there to get people really understand what's going on over here. Especially with Inferno at the minute, we're running into Mint Cycle 5 at the weekend. They come around so quick. What about you, Roodi? Where can people find? First of all, have you anything you want to add before we start closing out?
I think we covered a lot of stuff today. For you guys just coming in, I talked a little bit more about Titan Legends and the Legend X token that's launching within the next few weeks, just finishing up the auditing process, finishing up a little bit of front end work. If you guys have any questions, just hop in our Telegram. You can find us super easily there. Titan Legends, we're OG NFT project on Titan X, and really excited to put out the next piece of this and keep building with you guys. So thank you again for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming on. Just see Jake Sharp mention there. It's so awesome seeing Builder stream. I would love to have full on all Builder stream, but it would be mayhem. LOL. We did one before. We did one. We did one a few months back, and there was 8 of us on all Builders, 8 of us, and it went really, really well. So if we got anybody booked, Jake, will reach out to one of the guys. I'd be happy to line that up for next Tuesday, the Weekly Blaze next Tuesday. I know Eric's been keen to come on the show. I think Dude might be booked already to come on next Tuesday.
Yeah, Dude's next Tuesday, Ali, yeah.
Dude's next Tuesday. I'm sure Dude will not mind at all getting everybody on. How many builders can we have on at one time? I'll tell you, I'll do a good job at the quick fire questions around all the builders. It would be really good just to do something. We could nearly throw an open invite out to builders, and anybody that wants to come on could come on the show. And then we can just kind of hit people with a load of, ask the community any questions they want to ask anybody specifically, and just have a lot of fun with it. So if you're up for it, Jake, next Tuesday night this time, let me know and you can come on. The Dude's already booked. So yeah, if you're in, I'll get another whole load of people to come as well. Yeah, so
yeah,
let's do it. Let's make mayhem, baby.
Yeah, mayhem. I love it. I love it. The whole ecosystem's mayhem. Flux is mayhem. Inferno's mayhem. So I may as well bring the Weekly Blaze mayhem as well.
He's on it.
Let's do it.
Yes. I must say, I do really enjoy getting on these streams. It's nice just to meet people like yourself, Roodi, that are here building. We're all, I've seen people saying about the, that the builders are really all trying to help each other. Not just in, how do you say helping each other? We communicate, we talk to each other. Hopefully it stays this way. There's no infighting between any of the builders. It's kind of like just this, it's been said many times, the rising tide raises all ships. And it kind of feels like that at the minute. And hopefully the candles stay green, the optimism stays high, and everybody continues to do it, because I'm having a lot of fun meeting people like yourself, Roodi, and then all the other, just chatting with all the other builders within the ecosystem. So long may it continue.
Yes, sir. I feel family brewing.
Don't start crying. Nobody in the chat start crying, please. So yeah,
we're celebrating Christmas together.
Thanksgiving in America. Woo! Happy days. So yeah, no, thanks very much for coming on, Roodi.
Thank you.
Good luck with the hybrid NFT project. If you want to come back on any stage when you're closer to launching, give us a shout. We'll get you back on. Maybe be here next week for the builder stream. So yeah,
awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks very much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys again, and a pleasure to meet you both.
Yeah,
absolutely. Likewise. Nice to meet you. We'll
absolutely.
Good man. Thanks a lot.
Take it easy, guys.